The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
All right, let's dive in. Beach trip planning, always a good time. But this one's got layers. Massachusetts beaches. Check. A little history, a little education sprinkled in. And wait, hold up. Are we seeing some notes here about nude beaches?
Okay, yeah. You've definitely got an interesting mix going on here. It seems like you're looking for more than just your average beach vacation, right? You want to explore the culture, delve into the history, maybe even learn a thing or two while soaking up the sun. And hey, the idea of going clothing optional, it's definitely out there.
Definitely out there. But let's be real. Massachusetts law. Not exactly known for being super chill on the whole public nudity thing.
Yeah.
We want you to have a great trip. And part of that is being, respectful of the local rules and customs. So maybe let's shelve the whole clothing optional angle for now.
Yeah, agreed. But hey, the good news is Massachusetts has plenty to offer even with your swimsuit securely fastened.
Right. And I have to say, I'm loving this whole angle of blending history and education into the mix. It's like you want the sand to whisper you stories.
And trust me, Massachusetts sand, it's got stories for days. Now, you mentioned education, and you've got some maritime museums flagged, which is perfect because we're not talking about stuffy old exhibits here. We're talking about stepping onto a real-life, breathing whaling ship, like the Charles W. Morgan up in Mystic Seaport. Can you imagine?
Whoa, okay, hold the phone. Stepping onto an actual whaling ship. Now that's what I call a history lesson.
Right, and it doesn't stop there. You could learn about traditional boat building, even try your hand at it.
Okay, see, now you're speaking my language. Hands-on history, that's how I learn best. But let's be real for a second. All this talk about ships and history, it's making me hungry. And I know you've got some delicious plans lined up on the seafood front.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about lobster rolls so fresh, you'd swear they just crawled out of the ocean and onto your plate.
Okay, stop. I'm drooling. But what else? What else are we indulging in besides the lobster rolls the size of my head?
Massachusetts clam chowder, it's legendary for a reason. And the oysters. Fresh, briny, delicious. But to really hit that sweet spot of history and taste, picture this. You spend the morning exploring Plymouth, where the Pilgrims first landed. You soak in all that history at Plymouth-Patuxent museums. And then, bam, a traditional New England clam bake. You're literally tasting the history of the region.
Now that's what I'm talking about. That's not just dinner. That's time travel on a plate.
Exactly.
And it really highlights how you can bring all these interests together. Imagine, picking a beach near a historic lighthouse, then grabbing lunch at a seaside seafood shack with its own stories to tell.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of all this. You've given us the ingredients. History, education, amazing food. Now it's all about putting them together your own way to create your perfect Massachusetts beach experience.
So, to our listener out there, here's your final thought to chew on. What kind of learner are you?
Visual. Hands-on. Dive deep into those museum websites, look into boat tours, find local seafood markets, find those spots on the map, the beaches near the historic sites that really speak to you. Unearth your own connection to this place. And trust me, Massachusetts beaches, they've got stories waiting to be told.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.